call this meeting to order. Everyone please rise.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today to thank you for all that you have done for us, and we ask, Lord, that you place your special touch on Mrs. Bird and her family. Lord, we ask you, God, to touch their grief, Lord, and Father, we ask you, God, to encourage and lift them up. Lord, we thank you for this time to do the business you've called us to do. We ask that you give us your wisdom, and Father, that what is right in your eyes. We ask, Lord, that you be with those that are out responding right now, law enforcement, EMS, fire departments, and Lord, we ask you to protect them, and we thank you, Lord, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
We're gonna do the drainage district first?
At the end, second.
Want to do that second?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that on the first one, so.
This is a regular meeting of the Hendry County Board of County Commissioners being held Tuesday, October 10th at 2023 at 6 p.m. in the City Commission Chambers in Clewiston, Florida. In attendance are Vice Chair Mitchell Wills, Commissioner Emery Howard, Commissioner Raymond Iglesias, Commissioner Carson Turner, County Attorney Matt Rollerson, County Administrator Jennifer Davis, and Deputy Clerk Sharon Congleton.
Thank you, ma'am. We'd like to welcome one here tonight. If you have a place in the meeting you'd like to speak tonight, if you'll get a card to fill it out, we'll call you up at that time. We ask that you'd keep your remarks to 3 minutes and comments, please. We have quite a bit of business to get through tonight. So as we get started, if you have a cell phone, please silence that. So you're all set to go. First thing on the agenda tonight under bids, RFQ number 2023-23.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to accept the ranking firm's selection of Johnson Engineering for the sign.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Howard. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next under bids, ITB 2023-30.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, just a quick question. Commissioner Iglesias, you saw, my only concern was the scope went down to 47,180. I kind of looked through it, just perused it a little bit. I didn't know if you familiarized yourself a little bit more, but, you know, seems like it's a lot of stuff going on there for a number that they gave at 84. Can y'all educate me, is the final number the 47?
47, correct. They just took some of the work out of the equation, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is one that's been delayed for probably, I'm going to guesstimate, a year, through changes we've had in SHIP and some issues with Guardian and whatnot. And we're finally glad to have it at the table.
Okay. I just, you know, the last time we discussed SHIP, and we had a large scope of work that was produced, we got into a pretty good discussion about we needed to be within that threshold of the you know, we throw out the high, we throw out the low, and then we go in there and, guys, I think we need to, this is our ability to monitor that, right? I think we need to rewrite that because in this day and age, you get what you paid for. And now we had one contractor that threw a number at all this, and I can't help but think that's because, and obviously, I mean, this ain't you looking at it, and this ain't you doing it, but we could, as a county, be nickel and diming people, and we're not gonna get the most bang for our buck, and in turn, we're not gonna get projects completed. So I just think we ought to look at that internally, and because that's a policy thing that we would look at. You know, our ability to put our thumb on a contractor doesn't exist, but I don't think y'all wanna do that. You know what I mean, Ms. Hunter? You got things that you wanna worry about, and it ain't going out there to making sure a roof or bathroom got renovated properly.
But Jim
in a
is
timely
doing
manner.
that for us now, right,
Jim
Jennifer? And that's
is,
what's
yeah.
been able to been progressed through this process.
Yeah.
Jim's staying on top of these guys, and that's, you know, they had to actually clean up some of the previous work that Guardian had done. So this is kind of a new, fresh start, per se.
But it's new fresh start for already now, y'all. $47,000 off of a number that was 86. I can't remember what it is.
But we pulled
I know you
some of the.
pulled scope.
Yeah.
I know you pulled
okay.
scope. But what I'm saying is as a person who pays his living and has a lot of people that gainfully are employed and handle their mortgages because of working for us. Our guys know when a contract's 100,000 or $500,000, and they know when it's prevailing wage, and they know when it's an 18-month-long job versus a 6-month-long job, and how that's going to affect their bottom line and all that. And I'm looking at this one going 84,000. We just pulled to 47,000. Man, what are we really going to get? You know, and I think that's why you're only seeing one horse throw their animal in the ring to try to run the race. And so, I just am putting it on the record that I would love for us to look at it from a policy standpoint, to give you all more options to have more people aggressively go after these things. And I think that there's tools in the toolbox that we're dulling the edge of those. So,
But are you saying that, so our threshold is $50,000, correct?
Right now, yes, sir.
So are we able to, are you saying that we should try to increase that limit as well?
I think we increased it once, and then not only is our threshold 50 for a certain segment of rehabs or however that works, and I apologize for not being up to snuff on what our policy reads exactly, right? But I know at one time, and it still may be this way, Miss Emily, Miss Hunter, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You know, we threw out we had a scope number that the engineer's estimate was, let's say, and it wasn't an engineer's estimate, it was just a number that was arrived at. And then if we were like 20% above that or 10% above that, we threw that one out immediately. Or the highest number we automatically threw out, and then the lowest number we automatically threw out, because we were wanting to make this weird thing of being fair or also potentially giving it to, you know, the local contractors. And when what I would say is, Emily, you didn't come up with that. You didn't come up with that theory. I didn't come up with that. Jennifer, you didn't do that. That's not how you operate, you know? And so, you know, I don't know how we arrived at that, and maybe it was a best management practice that somebody had passed down to us from Tallahassee. But what I'm saying is Clyde Johnson ain't gonna give you the lowest price. I feel very confident of that. But by God, when Clyde Johnson says we're gonna have it done in 60 days, it's gonna be done in probably 45 to 90 days. It will be done. Well, you just said it's gonna take twice the time. Well, we're way past twice the time on that. And so I'm belaboring the point way too much now. And what I'm driving at is I think that we have local contractors, or maybe regional contractors, that would be more interested to go after these projects if we didn't hamstring ourselves out the gate, so to speak. And so I would just challenge y'all, along with a myriad of other things that y'all have, to look at what could we do to open up those scopes and open up those dollars and cents that are available in this, and then see if we can't actually get more projects done in an expedited fashion with more people genuinely wanting to throw a number at the ring. Because when you only see one entity bidding it, and they're out of Cape Coral, that raises red flags to me, you know, so. Yeah.
We'll look at the policy and bring back some things for consideration.
Yeah, I agree with that, Commissioner. If you remember from the very beginning, we started having these conversations, I was very unpleased with what was going on in that market. Had bid on several of the jobs myself, went and looked at them. I'm very confident with Jim. I can tell you he's gonna hold their feet to the fire. And he's usually above and beyond what really the scope of the work is. But with that being said, it's really, Clyde doesn't always come in the cheapest, but his work comes in great. And there's other contractors in Hendry County, it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
But if they figure they're gonna bid a job, and they're not gonna make any money on it,
Yes, sir.
they're not gonna bother bidding.
That's exactly right.
So I believe that we do need to look at that policy. So hey, let's get they're local. Let's get some of these local guys queued up and get them going on this as well.
In addition, I think with Jim taking over, what we won't see is 5 different change orders come through on every single ship home.
No, listen, and these are so small, it's not like somebody is, you know,
But
buying
they start
their.
at 30 and they
that's-
always tap out at 50.
Yes, sir, exactly, Commissioner. And
How did you not see that to begin with?
yeah,
when you
and
did them all
Taylor Electric, you know, which also has, you know, I mean, those guys, they're gonna look at that, and James will look at this and put that number together in his sleep, you know, and be dialed in on it, and he's gonna be within 10-15%, and we're not gonna get a supply chain whiny baby excuse of why, you know, he can't get something in. And so, and like you said, Commissioner Wills, I mean, there's a half a dozen other contractors and subcontractors locally that can knock that out, in my opinion. So I just would challenge y'all internally to look at that, and I think you're gonna move the needle aggressively on that. So we did approve it though, right, Commissioner? We
Yes, I
approved
have a
this
motion to
one?
approve.
No, we got a motion.
Motion.
Yes, to approve. We need a second.
Okay, second.
Motion by Commissioner Iglesias, second by Commissioner Turner. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next thing under bids is RFQ 2023-28.
Make a motion to approve Tetra Tech in the master agreement for miscellaneous and engineering and consulting services.
Second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Howard. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda. No one had anything to pull?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Iglesias, second by Commissioner Turner. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under awards and appearances, Alex, how do you pronounce that last name, brother? Somebody help me out.
Bro.
All right, Alex Bro, we have you here tonight. National Manufacturing Month, 10/23, so would you come on up, please? Well, I'm gonna bet that you're Alex.
I'm Alex. She is Alex.
I owe you $10. Welcome tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So this is a awards and appearances proclamation. Do we have that?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw a few minutes ago. Was it that black?
Yeah, but something happened to my computer. These words got smaller.
It's in
You want me?
right there.
You want me to jump on it, Chair?
Yeah, sure.
Here we
go
go.
ahead.
All right. So a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Hendry County, Florida, proclaiming the month of October 2023 as National Manufacturing Month. October 6th, 2023 is National Manufacturing Day and an effective way to highlight the importance of the manufacturing sector in our nation's economy and to draw attention to many rewarding, high-skilled, high-paying manufacturing careers available within our local community. And whereas the Southwest Regional Manufacturers Association of Florida, representing nearly 1,250 manufacturing facilities in our region, producing a diverse array of products, providing employment for approximately 14,500 citizens at an average annual wage of $61,900. The SRMA works with our educators to increase awareness of these career opportunities and to support school programs that provide the educational pathways to obtain them. And the Board of County Commissioners commends and supports this important cause and the organizations involved. Now, therefore, the Hendry County Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim October 2023 as National Manufacturing Month, duly considered and adopted by the Board of County Commissioners of Hendry County, Florida, this 10th day of October 2023.
Can we have a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. May I say a few words?
We'd love for that, yes.
Excellent. Thank you. So thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you, Commissioners. Really happy that you guys recognize the importance of manufacturing to our economy. The numbers that are in that proclamation are region-wide. We look at the 5 counties within Southwest Florida. And we know that here in Hendry County, the numbers are not nearly that large. We get that. But from a state of Florida standpoint, the Florida Chamber has a goal for 2030 for Florida to be a top 5 state in the country for manufacturing. They just announced about 2 weeks ago that Florida just became number 10. So we're well on our way, and organizations like the SRMA are ones that are helping with the boots on the ground make that happen. There is a huge push for rural Florida to be a big part of that. About 2 weeks ago, Governor DeSantis awarded $100 million in grants towards the semiconductor industry. There is a big push to bring more manufacturers to the state of Florida, not only onshoring to the United States. So we are excited to be a part of this. The goal here is to get more manufacturers in Hendry County, more high-wage employment in Hendry County, and we know that there's a labor shortage statewide, every county in the state. So the SRMA has been working with the Future Makers Collaboratory in trying to get more underskilled and unskilled people the proper skills that they need to get these high-wage employment opportunities. So yes, Alex Bro is here today to speak on behalf of Future Makers Collaboratory that we work with.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. So my name is Alex Bro. I work at Collaboratory as a partnership manager, and I'm a Future Maker. So with Future Makers Coalition, we are a collective impact network. So we have about 150 organizations across the 5-county region working together to help transform the region's workforce to ensure that 55% of our adults have a credential beyond high school by 2025. We're currently at 43.7%, And for us to get to 55% by 2025, which is in 2 years, we have a lot of work to do, but we know that there's an untapped workforce here across all 5 counties, and we are very grateful with our partnership with SRMA, the superintendent Swindle. They have designated a navigator for Hendry County specifically to help upskill and reskill individuals here, and we're really excited about that. It's been really successful. We have a great partnership with FGCU. We were awarded a $22.9 million grant to work on 4 sectors across the 5-county region. It's an EDA Good Jobs Challenge grant to upskill and reskill individuals. So we're happy to be here to recognize Manufacturing Month in Hendry County, and we thank you for the opportunity. So thank you so much.
Thank you all very much for being here tonight, have taken the time to come. Commissioners,
Good. Thank you.
Want to get
thank you very
a
much.
picture with the proclamation?
Yeah, I didn't sign it.
It's okay.
Because Ms.
You can
Bird, I
just-
didn't want to mess it up,
Okay.
so. I'd like to hold that out front with y'all. I do, yeah. Thank you all very much. We'll get that signed for you. Thank you,
We'll
sir.
get it signed though and get it
Yeah.
back to you because Commissioner Bird isn't
It's made
here.
out to
We'll
Ms.
get
Bird,
it
so we'll
signed
get
by
her to
the
sign it.
chair and
She'll
get
come
it
back
back
and
to
sign
you.
it, so. Yes, sir, we'll get it back to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank y'all
Appreciate
very
it.
much, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, there's nothing under FYI, so we're at staff reports. Mr. Rollerson. You have
Matt
anything?
Rawls for the record.
There we go.
There's only one, is there an agenda item? I'm not seeing
No,
it.
no, it's for Shane. It's for Shane.
We cool again.
Okay.
Let's go straight.
So, Mr. Parker,
Okay, Chair, what I have for you this evening is change order number 3 with OHL USA for miscellaneous paving.
Yeah.
This is for 2 sections of roadway that we need to pave ASAP. One is for Cowboy Way.
Yeah.
We
The other
did
one's
the culvert
for
placement?
835 where people literally fall in the road, so.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Iglesias, second by Commissioner Turner. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Can I ask a clarifying comment? I just noticed I made a mistake in my amount. It's correct on the change order, but it should be for $59,915.60 and not $59,195.60 as stated in the option.
Make,
I'll
wait,
correct the motion
Yeah.
to the correct number.
second, we'll acknowledge that as well.
All right. We got a first from Mr. Iglesias, second from Commissioner Turner, amending the first motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're coming to the public portion. Ms. Bunting,
I did have an item I wanted to.
you got a
bring
walk
up.
on? Okay,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
get you in a second, dear. Don't go nowhere.
I wanted to get permission from the board to be able to talk to the extension office in occupying the W.C. Owens building in Clewiston. They are in need of 4-H space by the end of this month, so we had been talking with the.
Ms. Davis, I don't think, does anybody see a reason why?
Okay.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Good with it.
So,
Engage.
okay, so I'll go
Yes,
ahead
ma'am.
and let them know. If there's any documents that need to be updated, I'm not sure that there is, we'll bring it to the next board meeting, but I'll go ahead and let them know that they can pursue occupying that space as soon as possible.
Now, we don't want to hold them up, so
Right.
if there's anything that's pressing,
Okay.
we don't want to hold them up at all.
Authorize
We
you
don't-
to do it.
Yeah, well, it could authorize Ms. Davis to go ahead and move forth with what we'd like to do.
Right, thank you. That's all I had.
Thank you. Okay,
That's a
dear.
better use for that building than what almost got voted on.
Hi, my name is Tammy Bunting. I live at 455 Wildwood Avenue in Pioneer. And I have a question, and I've requested a meeting with you in December of last year, and you said okay, and then a meeting never got scheduled. I've also been speaking with Shane and code enforcement about concerns I have about a roadway they're trying to put through in the 400 block of Wildwood Avenue. And I have quite a few concerns about it that I would like to get addressed. And information that I've been getting over the phone and random phone calls concerns me even more about all of it. Like who's doing the work? Because the work has already started. And I was told I see a private individual doing the work, building a road that's gonna come less than from me to Commissioner Wills from my house, from my bedroom And I just have a major issue with the way things are being handled with it and not getting really the answers that are appropriate, in my opinion.
Shane, I think that it's, the road, if it's what I'm thinking of, it's the road that's probably designated for that, correct?
The road in concern is Wildwood Avenue. It goes from Pioneer 4th westward to the Jack Sprat. And it's an area of contention where landowners on either side, there's Mr. Tommy Mills is in the middle and is landlocked, except he has legal access on Wildwood. Doesn't have legal access north and south. Mr. Al Renfeld owned all the property, sold the pieces off. Mr. Mesa bought the north piece, put a gate up. He doesn't want anybody driving through. Gentleman on the south side put a gate up. The road on the east side of the Jack Sprat is not the county. It's actually within a drainage easement. County does not maintain it. So Mr.
That's
Mills,
immediately adjacent to the canal.
correct.
Yes,
We tried to get an easement from Mr. Mesa. He doesn't want to give one.
multiple times.
So, yes, multiple times. So his only way out is Pioneer 4th. You asked a question. I sent a big, long email with some surveys and stuff. Miss Bunting's house is real close to the easement. I think it's 25 feet from the front porch to the easement line. It's a 60-foot wide easement. Each parcel has 30 feet. He has the right to clear it out. It's his legal access. He hired a local contractor. Yeah, I don't know. So.
I pulled it up, he doesn't.
So Terry Stroder. So Terry Stroder's in there cleaning it out, and he's doing that for half of Tommy Mills. We did stake out the right-of-way, because we usually do that when they go to clear to make sure it stays in the right place. We hired H.L. Bennett. Miss Bunting called me. I told her I'd come out and look. I have not had a chance to look, but they haven't went any further than her property line. And then looking at the survey, there's possibility that they could go around it, but I have not had a chance to look. There's a 30-foot strip that he possibly could clear out south of her fence, but that's the gist of it. Is Mr. Mills is looking for access. He's coming to the office all the time. Landowners are complaining. It's kind of like a little
It's
dispute
almost
section.
It's like a deadlocked area. I mean, I don't know how to explain it to where it can be articulated, but it's just how it is set up in there and how the easements are laid out. And then what the county has the ability to reign supreme over is limited. So, I mean, I've been out there. I'm very familiar with it. I don't think, nor do I want to tell someone that legally they can't clear an easement that's on their dirt. Whether he's doing that,
Is not anywhere near his house.
what's being cleared right now is an easement.
Of
Yes.
the counties, not Tommy's.
No, but then I need to go refamiliarize myself, because I may be speaking out of turn here, but this is not an isolated incident. I mean, we've had the same issue in a couple places in Ladika and whatnot. Whenever someone buys a lot and then says we're going to clean up where the road is and in and out, and it's been overgrown for 100 years, or there's a fence line that something's been over there. So
Been out there for 14 years, and I know this has taken over 3 minutes, but we've
No,
been
no,
out there
no.
for 14 years. The road, the Jack Sprat Canal Road has, and even before we got there, because I've checked with other people, the Jack Sprat Road has always been used as a road for access to those properties.
until the gentleman bought the property and
Yes,
decided that
and-
he was going to stop people from using it, which is completely within his
He didn't
rights.
stop, he did put a fence up.
He
did
put a
the
fence and put a
up,
gate.
And people had access through the gate, because I used it
Yes, for a while.
myself. And I can still use it, because
Okay.
it's not locked, it's just closed.
Yes.
But that itself was an issue, because originally we were told they were not allowed to lock the gates. The guy on the other side of Tommy did start locking his gates. Code enforcement told him that he couldn't be doing that it was a safety issue because there was no other access and this and that. But he continued to lock it. It continued to be an issue. And then Tommy and the other guy got into an argument, and then that's when the real issue started. I have access to my property. We've allowed Tommy to use access to our property whenever he and Vincente got into it. Vincente is currently selling his property. But the bottom line is, if the road's coming through, that's fine. If the county's building it, I do not wish to move my fence for a private individual who does not have any type of experience in building a road, to build a road that's gonna come this far away from my bedroom when I know the man who's going to be the primary person using it, we've pulled him out of the canal with his semi multiple times ourselves. And I don't, a private individual is building this road, so when he comes through my bedroom and causes damage and stuff, who do I sue?
I think you would sue him, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But normally I wouldn't entertain
Permits
so
or
many
anything
questions. But the
pulled
gist
and
of what
what
I'm saying is that
to be.
as it relates to the roads that have been built in Pioneer, I mean, I think the way it is written is we tell people lay the first layer, and then we'll take it from there.
And that's what we were told when we looked into it.
Yes, ma'am.
But then we were told the county didn't have the funds to do that. So the
County-
road
the
wouldn't come
county
through
does
unless
the-
everybody agreed to it. Nobody has reached out to us about anything until they reached out to us about moving our fence. For Terry to come through with a piece of equipment that he uses that belongs to Tommy. None of them have licenses or insurances or anything to cover anything that they're doing, and the county's allowing them to build this road.
I don't think the county's allowing or disallowing.
You know that he's building it?
Okay. As you stated, typically in Pioneer and Ladika, if there is a right-of-way, they go clear the right-of-way out themselves first. And the reason being is because county has limited funds. We do not clear the right-of-way unless there's a beneficial interest for us, like a fire break or something, because who's to say that this particular individual says, you didn't clear my right-of-way out, and there's hundreds of, there are several roads that are not improved.
I would even go a step further than that, and I would say that there's anecdotally a ton of stories where the county did this for this person, and the county did this for that person, but they won't do it for me. So I don't like Hendry County, or I
So-
don't like Commissioner Turner, or I don't like Commissioner Pellin because they did that for that person. And that's not the case.
But what they
I
do
think.
is-
I've been educated to that.
If they clear the right-of-way out, they put the first lift of rock down, the county will assume maintenance. We got several roads that Road and Bridge is in the process of taking over. One of them recently was Pioneer 10th Street on the south end, starting from Yeehall going north. Landowner put rock out, we started blading the road.
And I would
Actually,
say that also to the point, the threshold for what you all will accept is, and I'm not saying this to be critical or say you guys are clowns for doing this, but it's minuscule. We don't ask for, a 6-inch pad to be vibrated down and X number of loads and guaranteed with receipts and all that stuff. I've seen Road and Bridge, especially at the beginning of the cycle when in my opinion, the accounts are flush. I've seen Road and Bridge take over some roads that I'm like, wow, that's impressive. And then what y'all come back in and create is very good, And so, I think that's the county trying to work with the constituents, because even if the road only has one house on it in it to begin with, it's going to end up benefiting everyone in the long run, I think. And then also I think there's a direct correlation to dollars and cents being turned. Now, you could argue the adverse to that, which is I like Pioneer having 7 people in it, and I don't like, another 700 moving in from wherever they're moving in from. And I understand that argument very well. So I think the gist is, Ms. Bunting, is that you're frustrated because there's an easement being cleared out that's extremely close to your house.
That's my concern.
It's very uncomfortable for you because change is occurring, and you would just like to make sure, I think, that it's being done properly and legally. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Because from what I see, it is not being done that way.
Yes, ma'am. And is your major concern that the quality of what's being produced at the end of the day is going to be mediocre and not a good road?
With the roads that you guys, the county themselves have already put in, you have a hard time keeping up with them. And I'm not criticizing.
No, but it's a fact.
It's a fact.
It is a fact. We don't grade, and we don't have enough rock put down routinely enough. I will give you that all day long and twice on Sunday. Yes, ma'am. I mean, you can go into Ladika right now, and there's some roads that they're scary, to go down. Cap Rock is up, and we don't have much fill, and people are mad, and we have constituents that are, one road up, they're having to use one road down because that road has a better base to it, and they've got to go and then Baja it back to their lot or something, along those lines. And so I know it's not an isolated incident, but what I'd like to promise you is that Shane, can we get out there and look at this situation and familiarize ourselves and get educated to the nth degree, and then talk to the parties that are at play and understand what's going on?
Yes, we can do that. And I told Ms. Bunting we would, and I've been working with code enforcement with the contractor, making sure he pushed some piles outside the easement, and code enforcement on to push them back in, get rid of them. So we've been dealing with that issue, but there's a possibility that Tommy can clear the southern portion of the easement and have a pig trail going around it. I don't know. I have to see it. I can't commit to that.
Okay.
And there's power poles that run right down the center. So if the road was to go down the center, then Glades Electric had to move the power poles, but it would be a whole lot easier if they could go snake around her southern boundary. But I don't know until I look at it. But I do know what's been staked out.
Yes, sir.
And there may be a fence to the south of hers. I couldn't tell you that either.
This has been a minute now.
This has been going on for
Yeah.
years. Mr. Mace has been really good to
Yeah.
work with. He's called me several times wanting to lock it. I've been asking, will you please just stop? Don't lock it until something can happen with Pioneer 4th Street.
You got it on the
I'm sorry,
side
not Pioneer,
there, so-
Wildwood.
Yes,
And he's been nice enough to do that, but then sometimes he gets a little disgruntled.
understood. Ms. Bunting, thank you for attending tonight. I apologize for not being more responsive to you. That's not acceptable, and I will be reaching out to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else like to speak tonight? If you would, just fill out a card or just come on up and fill out the card when you're done talking. If not, business by district.
Shane. Cowboy Way, we got risers coming in this week, maybe? Maybe?
I was told they were last Friday, and I'm told it's going to be this Friday, so we'll see.
So let's assume they come in Friday. We'll start working on Monday.
Monday, yes, sir.
How long will it take us to get that done?
Couple days.
And OHLA will be out when?
That I don't know. They said that they would work pretty fast with us. They could fit us in the schedule, but we'll.
If we're lucky, by the end of the month, we might have it open. That's pushing it.
I don't know. That's probably pushing it, but
Okay.
it will be opened up as soon as possible. I can sure. We got the sod down. We got the bank stabilizer. We got a little bit more sod coming that I want placed down. We got to put the header pipes in and remove a berm on the south side and a pipe, and then we got to pave it and the multi-use path, and then that's it.
Boy, if y'all haven't seen something, but that's been an impressive job. Impact fees.
Impact fees. We don't have the draft report. Jennifer, myself, and Ian had conversation with our impact fee consultant. They gave us some numbers. They're going back. They asked for a copy of our old ordinances. The county attorney's office provided us the implementation ordinances and the rescission ordinance. I guess that's the right word, where it was rescinded. And we sent that, and they asked for some additional information from the school. Just wanting to make sure the numbers are at play.
When are they thinking?
It's based on the data we give them, so
Okay.
I don't know. Soon.
They
They
were-
know we want it.
I'm sorry, they were also working with the school, and I did talk to Mr. Swindle, and they were working on getting them the updated information they need from the school. And then what Mr. Swindle and I talked about is when we get the draft report, we're gonna review ours, obviously, they're gonna review theirs, and then we wanna meet before we present it to you to come up with a recommendation of, we recommend from our perspective that you adopt, I'm just throwing the 50% or 70% or 100%, of each one of these components, because there's various components to this before it comes to you. So that's our plan. As soon as we get the draft report, we're going to meet, make a recommendation from a staff perspective, and then we'll bring it to you.
Time is critical on this. Well, this has been going on for a long, long, long time. We've lost out on a lot. The constituents are getting really tired of us beating their back every time we got to do something. So the quicker we can push this ahead, we need to push it ahead, just my opinion.
And last thing, I want to recognize Gene McAvoy. Gene was, he's one of the inductees or nominated to be an inductee of the Agricultural Hall of Fame by our Ag Commissioner Wilton Simpson. So congratulations to Gene. That's all.
Mr. Howard?
Just want to give the board an update. We had the community meeting for Case and Evans Road regarding speed bumps and lighting MSBU. The meeting was October 3rd. It was well attended, and obviously for the nature of what's going on out there, it was quite an emotional meeting. It lasted probably twice as long as what I really thought it would. We did have a lot of discussion about speed bumps, the lighting. There was discussion about sidewalks. So we covered quite a bit of ground with that community. But they are engaged. They have the petitions. They have people spearheading Case Road, Evans Road, and today, a person picked up a petition for A Road to do the same thing. And so we have those folks down there doing the job of getting the signatures. I got an email this afternoon. They have about 50% of the required signatures they need right now, but they're doing several other events to work and eventually go door to door is what they're going to end up having to do. But it looks like it's going to move ahead. We just have a deadline that we have to move on for the lighting MSBU. But I really want to thank Ms. Davis, Ms. Hunter, Tommy, Shane, and Shane was he was awesome. I will tell you, he fielded more questions than I could have probably caught. And did it quite professionally and well. And I want to thank the sheriff too. The sheriff was there with Lieutenant Hudson, and it was a good opportunity for us to build a deep relationship with those folks down there.
The Case in Evans, now the street lighting they can get. What were the other items though? Speed bumps?
Speed bumps, yes.
Sidewalks would almost be an impossibility unless you fill in ditches and put in culverts, correct?
Pipe every bit of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, we're looking at a multi-million-dollar effort to a sidewalk.
Multi-million-dollar effort.
But the lighting, I mean, the lighting's something we
lighting's
should be able to push
peanuts.
to as an emergency life
Yeah.
safety issue and get that going.
Right. And also to add to that, we are going to install flock cameras for Case and Evans Road. I think Tommy already has the locations mapped out, and that's happening before anything else will.
So in and out, you can see who's coming in and out.
In and out, yes, sir.
Yeah, I had some constituents that were, I think they were frustrated that Pioneer and Ladika don't have a secondary ingress, and I told her, I said, I don't think you want that. I think you want that keyhole community. In the event we have an emergency, you can get out of Pioneer. There's no doubt, right? But it's just, I think that's everybody knows who's going in, everybody knows who's going out, and we still have some negative things that occur, but it's not to the extent that you have whenever there's a million different ways to get in and out of an area.
Right.
So
Right. It's not going to be a 100%, but you know what? It's a big step
Yeah.
in slowing folks down out there. So
I'll go as far as to say this. If you was comfortable making a motion to move on the lights, I'd be overly comfortable saying that we need to do something now rather than later. So that's your district. I'll put it right there to you.
Shane, do you want to talk about that real quick?
I was planning to come back to the next board meeting to give a report back on what we got as signatures so you can make an informed decision. We have anticipated we'd have the signatures, or that the board would go that way. And we had Stephen prepare LaBelle Acre. That area is called LaBelle Acres on the unrecorded plats. It'd be called the LaBelle Acres Lighting MSBU, and bring that back with an exhibit and showing you what we want to do. That way Mr. Rollerson could advertise in time for December board meetings.
I
for the
love it,
public
but
hearing.
December's a long time off and it's dark and them kids are walking up and down that road.
You made a motion?
December's too long. I said if someone would make that motion, I would second it.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Very good. Any further discussion?
is it FPL or Glaze Electric?
FPL.
But can I clarify, that motion is to go ahead and move forward with the public hearings for
Approve
the
the lights.
creation?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Got a motion by Commissioner Glacier, second by Commissioner Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. You got anything else?
No, sir, that's it.
Mr. Turner?
Is that just for Case and Evans?
That's Case and Evans, yes, sir.
Shane, just talk to you about a handful of roads and stuff, items that are going on. Appreciate you looking into that, and thank you for getting the maps for the drainage district up there. I look forward to tweaking this with you and getting back on that. I can't think of anything else. I will say October is going to be done before we blink our eyes. We need to be thinking about what we're going to go to Tallahassee and be requesting. How did the delegation meeting go? Cool in the gang? Everything good?
Everything's good.
Let's just get ready to drill down on that. And that's it in a nutshell. Thank you.
I'm going to echo what Commissioner Howard said. I actually texted Ms. Davis in the middle of the meeting and said, Shane needs a raise. Lord have mercy. You done an excellent job. You never lost your composure. I mean, it was very nice to see the county represented the way you did. A couple others lost their composure a bit, but you never did. So I thank you for your professionalism. You've done a great job. The question I have is, I'm getting a lot of questions still on Wheeler Estates. Just, can you give me an update, kind of where we are and what's going on with getting our connection made?
Well, the update on Wheeler Estates is we put an invitation to bid for the paving section of 13th to just north of 23rd. That bid's been issued. I think the bids are actually due November 1st. And then we're still waiting on the representative from SoFlo Wags. I can't think of the name right now. They got a different name, but waiting on their new ownership to respond to Kate about giving us an easement. Because otherwise, our road, we have easements going through. They wanted us to remove our easements, I guess vacate them through their property and move it over. We don't have a bunch to their property, we have a few. So it's beneficial to them. So Kate's just waiting. She last word to me, Mr. Ross, was she was going to re-engage her client. And so that's where that fell.
How long ago has that been, just out of curiosity?
I think it's 2 months, Matt. Probably 2
Something maybe we
months.
could just kind of drop our line and say, hey, we're still here. Kind of waiting, not patiently, but we're waiting.
Do that.
Okay, thank you. And the paving, when will the paving actually maybe take place, Shane? Sorry.
When the bids come in November 1st, we'll evaluate the bids, and then I'm going to work with Mr. Proverbs to find out financing options and then bring it back to the board. So I'd like to be able to come back on the 14th. I think our board meeting's the 14th. Come back on the 14th with a recommendation
Okay.
to award, along with perhaps some financing options.
First quarter of 24, maybe.
But yeah, you'll more than likely start paving, first quarter 24.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Does
Yep.
anyone else have anything else they'd like to address the board tonight? If you would just come up and state your name, please, sir. I know all of us in the room know you, but we need it for the record.
The mayor from Pioneer.
Fred Bosley for the record, and I'd like to make a comment that Carson started. There's about 2 ways in and 2 ways out of Pioneer. And the way it is right now, we pretty well got a handle on things that are going on. Things are really calm. We have a deputy that comes in and out quite a bit. And people say they get excited or so when we have a roadblock on Henry Isles Boulevard. Well, coming up Highway 27, there was an accident up there, and they closed north and south lane, and they had a probably a 30-foot right-of-way easement in between. Well, on Highway 80, the same thing out there close to Pioneer. There's an accident. They closed east and westbound lane. So just a few minutes or so, and we have a employee for U.S. Sugar that in case we do have emergency, they can come in on the power line road and come in for emergency equipment. But the delay is it's not worth the putting a second road in, and we're well satisfied with what we have right there.
Thank you, Mr. Bosley.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Bosley, have we got that generator fixed yet? Bob?
No, sir.
Not yet?
No, it's an old beat-up military generator. I have difficulty finding something.
Bob, when you just come up here, brother.
It's an old, Bob Pastula, for the record. It's an old generator, military generator, and Randy's been out to look at it a couple times, put new batteries in it. He just can't get it running. So he says he knows a guy out in West Palm Beach, I think. He's going to try to get him to come over and take a look at it.
Yeah, I'd like to get that thing working. I want to make sure that the day we need it, they've got it. So, thank you.
Yeah, people's in too big a hurry. Have an accident and the road's closed maybe an hour and somebody just lost a loved one. They need to start thinking about that, looking at it just a little bit differently, so.